is Race at Continue. I'm Mike. I'm your host. I'm back, and I haven't done a video game video for a while, a video game discussion rather. Mainly because I kind of fell out of love with video games a little bit. I used to be a big time gamer, not so much anymore. But recently, I wound up picking up Battlefield Hardline and got really kind of addicted to it. Me and a buddy have been playing it a lot, and it's a great game. I finally kind of found something that I enjoy playing again. I also picked up some other like budget games. If you haven't seen my old videos, I used to call myself the chain smoking cheap ass gamer. And I'm very notorious for picking up those budget games. The games that are like $5 and under. Because some of them are just simply games of yesterday that just have been played a lot, and people have moved on to other things. And not that they're bad games. It's just a lot of these were actually considered huge, amazing, great games. Like the Gears of War series, you can get all of them like for almost $20 in total. That's how cheap things have gone. So, one of the games I got was Fear, and I'm actually, I took a break from playing it. I was just playing it for a few minutes, and it's not bad. It's kind of cool. I unfortunately never picked up Fear when it had come out, so I kind of missed the hype. Everyone told me that it was absolutely an incredible game and everything. And as soon as I started playing it, I noticed something. And I have that standalone expansion thing, the excursion or extraction missions or something like that. But I'm having fun with it. But one thing I noticed is that it does look dated. Not that that's something that was a problem back then, but as of now, like a lot of people would be turned off from playing a game that looks that way, despite how fun it is. And this video is going to be centered around some of the games that I feel like unfortunately show their dates and would really benefit from a graphical update. And I say graphical, I'm not saying the whole game needs to be revamped. I feel like when people remake things, they try to go hog wild and we're going to improve this and we're going to change this, and next thing you know, it's just carrying the same title. So, to kick it off, then, since I already started talking about it, Fear, the whole Fear series needs to be graphically updated. It really doesn't need much more, maybe a little bit tweaking of the controls. Like instead of clicking in with the thumbstick, actually like real gun type situation where not real gun, but the classic gameplay where you pull the trigger to zoom and that type of stuff. Other than that, environment, all that, keep everything the same, just update the graphics, work on the controls a little. And that's about it. I think that it's actually pretty cool. It kind of surprises me at points. I love the amount of blood and gore that goes on in that game. I love kind of horror-ish type games. And Fear kind of has this cool atmosphere to it. And I think that with new graphics, we could bring that out a lot more. Next up, I was just talking to a buddy about this. We were talking about the new Call of Duty trailer and how over the top it is, and how now it's like they're in space and there's spaceships. It's like, this is a game series that came from World War 1 and 2, like, you know, like, actually, the funny thing is, as much as they try to improve things, and it seems to be a general consensus with all Call of Duty fans that I talk to, and we all kind of say the same thing. The last real great Call of Duty was World at War. Everything about that game was fantastic. It was the last game that really kind of showed gore too. Like, you threw a grenade, the person exploded, like limbs flew all over the place. It was a lot more realistic in a lot of ways. Which I own, and I popped in a couple days ago just to kind of check out. It just needs a little bit of an update. That's it. You know, World at War on this current gen consoles would look fantastic. You know, don't even change maps. Don't do anything of setups. Zombies is perfect. Don't fuck with that either. It, like, once again, graphically, it's such a perfect game. Why don't we just remake it to the point where it looks graphically, you know, amazing as much as it plays amazing? That's the main thing. Now, this is kind of going back to PlayStation 1, the original. Yes, I'm going back then. When I first, because I grew up with Nintendo and Genesis. That was like what I had. I wasn't really that much of a gamer as a kid. It wasn't until I guess I was about 21 when a friend had let me borrow a PlayStation, and I got to kind of see this whole new light of, you know, gaming. And one of the first games I got into was Parasite Eve. This game, to this day, I will still play this game. It is easily in my top 10 video games of all time. I love it. I enjoy it. The story was fantastic. There was just so much about it that was great. It even gave you like a bit of not a history lesson, a science lesson throughout the game, which was really a nice added bonus where it was like, hey, I'm playing something, I'm enjoying it, I'm actually learning a little bit. A lot of the story centers around mitochondria, and they actually kind of tell you exactly how mitochondria works. Like the big villain manipulates mitochondria in your system in order to mutate you into creatures and stuff like that. It was, if you've never played it, look it up. It is a great game. It's actually a series. There's 3 of them. 1 and 2 was on PlayStation. Then they put one on, I don't think it was, maybe it was Vita or PSP. I'm not entirely sure. It was one of the, I never played it. I kind of watched a little bit of reviews, and it lost a little bit of what it is. Each one is very different in the way of gameplay. Like, the original one played a lot like a Final Fantasy game. Why? Because it was made by Square Enix, and it was one of their offshoots, which I really wish Square would, instead of all the time tossing us Final Fantasy title after Final Fantasy title, that they would center on some of their little one-shot type games or lesser known titles, because I think that they could really be brought out and brought to this amazing level. And like with Parasite Eve, it had that gameplay of Final Fantasy, the turn-based. And one of the coolest aspects of this entire game is that you could break down guns and apply effects to your gun, and you could also break down the gun and like apply like its attack and like its stats to your main gun, and you can constantly build that gun up at the end of the game, and armor too. At the end of the game, you could actually choose one piece of armor or one gun to carry over into starting a new game. And in when you did, you got like this another area on the map, which was really fucking tough to play. It was the Chrysler Building, 66 floors of complete mayhem, maps that rearranged themselves, so you didn't know. Leo had to interrupt again. Didn't you? You're like, Daddy, don't play that game anymore. I can't take it. Marathon days after days of Parasite Eve, no more. Yes, it is that addictive. Leo is testifying to that. But anyway, absolutely great game. The creatures were cool. The cinematics were really cool, at least for the time. Like, I could only imagine those cinematics by today's standards of graphics. I think that it would absolutely blow away people at the intensity of what they could do. While the second one, actually, you were able to run about and shoot more. It was weird, to be honest. Not that it was a bad game. I actually liked a lot of the creatures. I liked a lot of the environments. It was really cool that one of the unlockable weapons was Squall's Gunblade, from my personal favorite Final Fantasy game. So yeah, I would love to see that remade to its former glory. And once again, another title from Square Enix is Bouncer. Bouncer was kind of this beat 'em up kind of, cool game, kind of like almost like side scrolly ish. You had a couple of characters that you could play with, not much, but it was just like, it was so cool. It was a lot of fun. It was really tough. But as you played, you really did kind of feel like it was a little limited. You wanted more from it because it was that good. And because it was so good, you overlooked it and you kept playing it. Definitely needs, this one more than graphics, it needs a gameplay update too, but not much. Just kind of use the regular chemistry of it and build off of it. That's basically what it is. Another game that was very, in the same premise, limited, but was fun. State of Emergency. State of Emergency definitely needs a facelift, needs to be brought back. That game was a huge deal to a lot of people. I know a buddy of mine was obsessed with the game, played it a lot. And it was cool. It was, to me, it was one of those games I got into way after its time, so I had to look past some of its lesser qualities by today's standards. And even by yesterday's standards, it is a little limited. I felt like maps were not so big. There was like a lot of stuff about it that it was like a great idea that wasn't taken all the way. And it was a Rockstar game. Very cool game. I mean, you just basically like mowed down like tons and tons of people, plenty of blood everywhere. And It seems like blood and gore is like my big theme here that that I'm kind of like working with in the way of games. I've always kind of been a big fan of hardcore games. So actually, I'll even go way back and say that 3 games need a facelift. This is way going back. I actually want remakes of these. They did a remake. They did, and it was actually not as bad as people made it out to be. And the series is Splatterhouse. I love Splatterhouse. This game, when I was a kid, I remember seeing, like, at the video rental store, you know, they had video games too to rent. So I always remember seeing this box for Sega Genesis. It looked so cool. It was like, just something about it just screamed to me. It's like, you want to play this. So we rented it. It was tough as balls to play, but I still kept going in. I kept playing that same fucking level or two that I could only get through, and it was fun. It was awesome. To this day, I have not been any of the Splatterhouses other than the remake. And to be honest, the remake was not bad at all. It really wasn't. When it did come out, you could tell that someone just didn't want to put much budget in it, but they made the most of it, and I thought it was really cool. I like the arena play afterward, where you just get dropped into arena, try to survive. I think it's like 20 rounds, and that's not me farting. That's me scratching my leg. But it was very, even back in the day, it was very graphic. I mean, you could pick up a 2x4 and smack creatures' heads off, but when you smack their heads off, like another mouth and tongue would come out. Like, it was just something that at the time you just never saw. It really set this different standard. It actually, at the time too, there wasn't much horror games out there. There really wasn't. And it was kind of one of the first to pioneer its way into the hearts of, horror movie video game fans, if you will. So, absolutely, I would love to see the remake of those. If you don't know anything about Splatterhouse, check it out. The guy kind of looks like a roided out version of Jason from Friday the 13th, but so much fun. Like, you just pick up all sorts of weapons, not guns. We're talking like, oh no, I think there was a shotgun. At least the remake had a shotgun, but mainly it's like 2x4s, baseball bats, axes, that type of stuff. The remake had tons of awesome finishers that you could perform. The life meter was actually like the amount of damage your body could have. Like, people could tear off your limbs and you could regenerate them. And you could even pick up the limb and use it as a weapon, which was really cool. I thought the remake was cool because it did kind of bring new stuff that we had never seen before. But got terrible reviews and got shut down, and people just kind of pissed on it and said, oh, it's a shit fucking game. Another game that needs a facelift. Absolutely needs a facelift, and I will also say it needs a sequel. Or I'm sorry, it had a sequel. That has to get remade, but we also have, I would love to see part 3 come out. I want to see 1 and 2 remade, HD editions, new graphics, that type of stuff. You don't really have to fix much outside of that. And then part 3. And once again, I'm going to be going back to, not swearing, going back to Rockstar. And that is Manhunt. If anyone knows Manhunt, you know what I'm talking about. You know how much, like, the second you popped that game in the first 5 minutes, they grabbed you. You're like, what the hell am I into? And especially that first weapon you get, a plastic bag. When I got that plastic bag, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, a plastic bag? Like, this is what you're gonna start me out with? And then I saw how you used it. And it was just like, oh my god, I love this game. Genius! Genius for taking a plastic bag and making it so violent. Like, you literally, like, the way that this game, if you didn't know what this game is, I won't get into the story too much, but the mechanics of the game is you're trying to survive these areas, and there's like mercenary type people that are trying to kill you, and what you do is you take found objects and use them in deadly ways, and what you do is you sneak up. It's kind of like a little bit of a stealth thing, which I'm not a big fan of stealth games, but this one rocked me. I thought it was awesome. But you sneak up behind them. Now, the way it goes is, when you first start sneaking up and you get close, it'll go, like, the meter will go green. And you can attack. You can execute these people. Then it goes yellow and red. The longer you're behind them and closer, the more violent the kill is. And it was awesome. Like that plastic bag, when you just throw it over someone's head, drag them down, and start punching their face, and you see the bag just filled with blood, it was just like, oh my fucking god, this is awesome. Definitely, once again, one of the coolest games I've ever played. Very gutsy. I loved it. Like, everyone was talking Grand Theft Auto. I was like, no, I want more Manhunt. Like, what the hell? I only got 2 Manhunts. The first one was awesome. 2 was okay. And yet, I get Grand Theft Auto after Grand Theft Auto after Grand Theft Auto. I'm not a huge Grand Theft. I find Grand Theft Auto a little pretentious, to be honest. It's so epic, but yet I feel like it's too goofy at points. It's just that same old gangster bullshit, in my opinion. Well, Saints Row was, I don't know, I had a lot more fun, in my opinion. But yeah, those are like my main games I would like to see kind of remade, that needs an update. Oh, I got one more. This is a game I never knew why exactly there was never a sequel to. I remember playing it in the arcade. There was a shitty fucking, or like a couple of ports for consoles, like for, I guess it was no, I think it was Super Nintendo and Genesis. But in the arcade, it was fantastic. Primal Rage. If any of you remember this game, Primal Rage. Oh my god, this game was so cool. It was a fighting game it was like prehistoric, where you had like giant apes and dinosaurs fighting each other. It had a limited amount of characters that you could play as, but they were really, really cool and fun, and I don't know, I remember going down to the local, I think it was like a ground round or something like that. I think it was ground round, and they had arcade machines in the back. I used to, it wasn't far from my house. I used to go down there, and I wasted quarter after quarter after quarter after quarter on that game. I loved it that much, and for some reason there was never a sequel. I remember a lot of people kind of dug the game too, but for some reason it just, I don't know. In fact, I gotta look it up. I think it was made by Midway. It might have been. It was pretty gory too. It kind of actually, it makes sense now that I think that if it was Midway, that in Mortal Kombat, maybe they just decided to put more money into Mortal Kombat. Regardless, Primal Fear needs to return. You heard it from me, and I hope that some of you Primal Fear fans out there want a sequel too, or sequel, remake, everything. I want the whole kit and caboodle. Especially nowadays, like, come on, Jurassic World just came out. Now's the time to strike. Get that shit out there. We're all dino fear, I can't even speak. Dino amped. I was trying to be witty there. It didn't happen. You know, if you've been watching this, you know that one take. That's it. No apologies. I give you all the flaws. I don't care. We're all human. I want to show you that I'm human. So, so yeah, that's my thing. My list. I'm sure there's other games that I enjoyed throughout the years that I just can't think of that I really feel as though needs a facelift to it and be brought back. Oh, one more, and you all will agree with me on this. Duke Nukem. You know what? That last one, Duke Nukem Forever, was really fucking shitty, even though I own it. I basically own it because of the Duke Nukem game. That's my shame. And it only cost me like $2. I'm sorry, it only cost me $1. Thank God. But yeah, just don't fuck with the system. New graphics. That's it. That's your job, video game people. That's your job. Don't try to be like all reinventing the wheel. Don't fucking do it. Don't. You want to do it. I see you. You're thinking the wheels are turning. You're thinking, oh, I could do this. No. Leave it alone. Put those ideas in another fucking game. Leave it alone. And just bring us solid awesomeness. Don't be interjecting these crazy ideas that you got. Throw that somewhere else. Reinvent the wheel somewhere else. Brand new game. I think too many times people try to take something really cool and classic and reinvent it and try to make it way beyond its standards, and it doesn't. Sometimes things just need to be simplistic, really, really simplistic. Look at a lot of the Mario games. When it comes down to it, what's the best fucking Mario games? Mario 1 and 3. Fuck you if you think 2 was good. No, that was not good. That was weird. It was just weird. Just weird. Guys, weird. But yeah, so, that's my list. Tell me what you think. Tell me what games you would like to see getting a facelift and revamped, and what was some of your favorite games too of yesterday? Actually, let's do it like this. Tell me what you enjoyed of yesterday's video games, like your top 1, 2, 3 type games. Don't get too involved. Then also tell me what you would like a remake of and what you would like a sequel of. There we go. 3-part question. I really like to hear this because there's a lot of games I kind of missed out on, in the past. I currently have a crazy Xbox 360 collection, a really crazy one. I think I'm nearing 300 games, and that's just what I own. I buy anything budget at this point. Just trying to scoop them up before, places like GameStop just don't even, offer them anymore. So anyway, that's it for me. Have a good day. I love you all, and show that love to some other people too. I'm sure some people in your life just you may not think about it, but maybe they need a little cheering up today. Yeah, send some messages around. Send goofy shit. Little memes. Whatever. Throw cat videos around. I just watched something about people that watch cat videos are 10 times more happier in the day. You're not making me happy right now. You're just sleeping. Oh, you're so cute. Yes, you are making me happy. You're so making me happy. Okay, now you're not making me happy. You're attacking me. Okay, so that's the end of the video. Me being attacked by my cat. Have a good day.